My name is Kate, and I'm an occupational therapist at Hospital for Special Care, and I work in the outpatient department.
And my name is Ruchi. I'm a speech-language pathologist in the outpatient department here at Hospital for Special Care. Today we're going to be talking about aspiration precautions. Aspiration is actually when food or liquid goes into your airway, which is also called the trachea.
So is that different from choking?
Yes. And so when we say choking, we're talking about a complete occlusion of your airway. So that means that you're not getting air in and out of your trachea. So for that, you would actually need the Heimlich maneuver. Versus aspiration, you're coughing and sputtering. It might feel really difficult to be breathing because the coughing means that you're getting airflow in and out of your trachea. So one of the things that we talk about all the time is making sure you're using a slow rate when you're eating. As you can see, Kate took a huge bite and it was super hard for her to control what was happening in her mouth. We always talk about, aspiration happening in the throat, but a lot of it has to do with what you're able to do in your mouth. If you're having a hard time controlling your chewing and, moving that bolus back into your throat, it's gonna be really hard for you and you might actually end up choking or sputtering or having an aspiration event. And a more appropriate thing to do is just to alternate your liquids and solids so that you're slowing down and making sure that you're not taking too many bites in a row when there's still a lot of food left over in your mouth. Something that might be helpful is to take a bite and then put your fork or your spoon down between bites so that you're controlling yourself a little bit better. So this is pretty frequently how people eat at home, especially if they're eating in front of a TV. You'll notice that Kate is feeling very slouchy and very relaxed right now. When she's reclined like this, she has less control of what's happening in her mouth, so that things are more likely to move down and back into her throat before she's ready to swallow that bite. Even after she's done swallowing, really she should be sitting nice and upright. When the food is entering her food pipe or her esophagus, you want to make sure that it's traveling in the direction of her stomach. So you want gravity to be working in her favor so that the food isn't just sitting in her food pipe for too long.
But if it's difficult for you to maintain an upright posture, I would definitely recommend you prop your arms up on the table to help hold yourself up a little bit. Or if you can, adjust the height of the surface that you're eating on to help elevate it a little bit so that you can be as upright as possible.
It's really important to have strict oral care as part of your regimen and your routine. We really want to reduce the amount of bacteria in your mouth because any of the bacteria that goes down the wrong way into your airway could lead to an aspiration pneumonia because it's going to cause an infection. Brushing 3 times a day is ideal, but at least twice a day.
And if it's difficult for you to manage a standard toothbrush, an electric toothbrush has a little bit of a bigger handle, so it can be easier to hold and manipulate, and also it does a lot of the brushing work for you. And if things like flossing are challenging, that's something you can definitely talk to your dentist about, whether an adapted flosser pick or a water pick is something that would be helpful for you. So hopefully this gives you guys some tips to practice at home to help avoid aspiration.